Okay, you guys, I am showing you all my lemon balm, which is up here. Now, this has, it looks a hot mess, you guys, but I have done a lot of harvesting off this plant. But there are smaller leaves that are growing at the bottom, so I'm not really too concerned about that. And then I also am propagating some that's my sweetie over there, you guys. I'm also propagating I think I'm saying that word right, some more lemon balm in the house. But you know, I just can't do the harvesting off this too much until it kind of grew up a little bit. And then for the mint, I have done some harvesting off that already so that it won't go to flower too soon. And so I was told that, or I just been watching some other video channels, and they talk about how it's important for you to continuously harvesting your plants or what have you, so that they can continue to work at its full potential, especially those herbs that are for medicinal use. That's what I think, for medicinal use, in order to get the full strength of it. And so I got this, and then I have some more that's propagating in the house, and they're actually, most of them are really ready for me to go ahead and plant those out. And so I'll probably do another video where I am planting those out along with getting those other plants that have germinated, getting them in pots as well. And so I'm going to show you the herbs first. I'm trying to put everything in order, and then the vegetables, and then the fruit. Maybe I don't think I can do the fruit trees that way, because they all kind of mingling in with the vegetables. And so the next thing I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to kind of move you over. I am really trying to stay in the sun because I can't do any filming on the patio because it's dark. So okay, so I'm going to try my best to keep the camera in the light, because I want you guys to kind of see everything. All right, let me move over to the garden, you guys. I'm gonna step into the garden. I can't walk into it, y'all. I can only step into it. Okay, so the first thing I want to show you guys is the lemon cucumber. And so a dragonfly landed on the tripod, you guys. I'm looking at it crazy. But this lemon cucumber is growing very nice. I tell you, it is like night and day from when I tried to grow cucumbers last year. But this is producing. I have a lot of bees that have been pollinating the flowers and stuff like that, and it just looks so good, you guys. And I will show you a closer look as to what's growing on the inside. You see the bumblebee? Well, it's not a bumblebee, it's a yellow jack, but it's growing really good, and so I'm proud of that. And so, as I mentioned to you all before, I can't walk through the garden, I can only step through it. So the next thing, and hopefully this is showing, I'm not going to go really in order. I thought I was going to be able to do this, but I'm not going to be able to do it. We're just going to have to go according to what you see, what I'm seeing, or what you can see in the view of the camera. Okay, so over here, you guys, is the blueberry bushes. These are the blueberry bushes, and like I said to you before, they have been producing blueberries, and I've been eating them as I pick them. They've just been so good. I've been putting them in my salad. I try to put it in everything that I could think of because they're so good. This is the lemon tree that I've had for 3 years, probably a little over than 3 years. It's hot out here. A little over 3 years, and it has grown back. I mentioned to you all that I had cut it down so, ouch, that was, ouch, I cut it down so far, but it is growing back up, you guys, and I'm just really excited to see this tree flourish again. And so I don't know if I'm going to get any fruit out of it this year. I don't know, since I cut it down that far, but it doesn't matter to me as long as the tree is healthy, and it is really healthy, you guys. The next thing I want to show you is, and maybe I can kind of bring you close. I think I'm gonna bring you close. The next plant I want to show you all is this burgundy bush bean plant, and it is just growing awesome, you guys. It is growing, it is producing, and it's healthy. It is just so healthy, and I will show you guys what I've been using to keep the plants flourishing like they are. And like I mentioned to you before, I am really proud of the garden this year. I know we're at the beginning of summer, the beginning of the season, the summer season, or just beginning of the year and growing between spring and summer, what have you, or summer, spring and summer. And it has a long, we have a long growth period here in Georgia. And so I know things could turn, but because I am in this garden every single day, sometimes 3 times a day, you guys, just manning the vegetables or what have you. But this is growing really well. It's producing beans. They look healthy. I probably can start harvesting off these sometime in the next 3 weeks or so, maybe sometime in the next couple of weeks or so. But it looks, they look real good, you guys. The next thing, I don't know if you can see it, but I probably need to pan around so that you can have a really good look at this. Okay, so the next vegetables I am presenting are the okra, you guys. And so, ooh, that scared me. I got a bumblebee that is pollinating the cucumber bush, and I was getting ready to reach down. But this bush, I didn't say anything to you about. This is the cucumber plant that I actually planted from seed. And like I said, it's just gorgeous. It's healthy and it looks good. And so this is the Salamore cucumber plant. The next thing I want to show you is the okra. I planted these okra from seed as well. Now I want to show you a comparison. I did buy some at the beginning of the year, or beginning of spring, around maybe mid-spring, and you guys won't believe how what I planted is growing much, just the leaves are much larger than what I bought out of the store. And this okra is the Clemson spineless. I think this is what a lot of people tend to plant in their garden. It needs to be watered, but I think a lot of people, farmers or gardeners or what have you, tend to plant the Clemson spineless okra, and maybe because they do a good job in producing, maybe a lot faster, or it just does a good job in producing. And so the next thing I want to show you, hopefully you can see, is probably have to do a different angle for this, but and you're going to see it closer up because I'm just going to do a close-up of all of the vegetables. And so the next plant that I have my hand on is my tomato plant, and it is, and I bought this, none of my tomatoes were seeded. I bought them right out of one of your big box stores. And so this is the pink Brandywine, and it finally started to produce fruit. It took a minute because I've had it for about Well, when I got it, it was a small plant from the beginning, and so it has grown up to this point. Actually, all of them has grown up to a very large point. The next tomato plant I have is the yellow tomato. It's a yellow tomato plant, and I bought this when it was yay high, and look how tall it has grown. And I think I'm gonna have to get a taller stick, you guys, or maybe figure out a way to where I can bend it a different way, but somehow I don't think that's gonna work. I just don't have enough room in this little area to do all of that bending and stuff. And so it's been producing. It just started to produce. I'm gonna have to do some harvesting, so you're gonna see the how it looks very close when it has blushed or it has turned the color it should turn. The next, oh, I forgot to tell you, I have strawberries too. I didn't even put that on my book. That's crazy. Okay, so the next vegetable I want to show, and I don't know if you can see this, but I may just lift it up. I bought 2 of these, and I've done some harvesting off it. I hadn't been able to make my pesto because it hasn't been enough leaves to make pesto with, and so I probably would go ahead and do harvest a lot of this so that it can continue to grow and grow and grow and don't flower. And I've been kind of picking the tops to keep it from flowering. And so the next plant I want to show is, and I'm gonna have to hold some stuff up for you guys, is the, oh, ouch. Now this is my habanero, yeah, my habanero plant, and it is definitely producing, you guys, and I will, like I said, show it to you closer. And I actually bought it as a plant. I'm gonna have to change angles because now I'm getting kind of deeper into the garden. Okay, you guys, so the next set of vegetables I want to, tomato plants I want to show you are, now this is the Goliath tomato plant. It has grown up, like I said, tremendously. These right here, when they say Goliath, they do produce some large tomatoes. Now, I tried to tell you guys, I couldn't think of the name of the problem that this tomato plant was having, and I will show you how the tomatoes was looking about a month or so ago. And so I was dealing with, just only with this tomato plant, you guys, dealing with blossom rot. That's the name of it, you guys, blossom rot. And so I was dealing with blossom rot on this, and I did some research and was told to get some, oh, I'm trying to remember, I think I had to go and buy, and I'll show you that product, I had to buy some product. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was, you guys. What it was, they say that, did some research, they were saying that when you have blossom rot, that means that the plant is not getting enough calcium in it. And so what I did was I used some, I didn't use the blood meal, but I used the other meal, you guys. I can't think of the name. I know I'm coming up on here saying that I can't think of the name of this stuff, but I used bone meal. I use bone meal to combat it, and they say now it's not going to reverse what has already happened, but the fruit that's coming on, the next set of fruits that was coming on to, that was growing, won't be affected by it. And so far, you guys, it worked. It just didn't have, the plant didn't have enough calcium in it, and so it is growing perfect. This is the Goliath tomato plant. This is the I think this one is the, oh, this is the Mr. Stripey plant. Now, this plant, I don't see any blossoms on here yet. I don't know if it just blossomed late or what have you, but ain't nothing happening on this plant yet. However, the rest of them, they were kind of slow, except this Goliath. They were kind of slow producing, and so I'm thinking that this eventually will start producing as well. Okay, and so the next thing I want to show you all, and I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to try my best to raise it up so you can see it. Now, I have no idea, as you can see, this is the Swiss chard. Now, let me tell you, I have no idea what is going on with this Swiss chard. It ain't growing like it's supposed to grow. I don't know if it's just too much sun out here. In this general area right here, I get the sun from 10 o'clock to maybe 6 o'clock in the afternoon. 10 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So you can do the math and count the hours. And so I don't know if it's can't take the heat. I may have to move it and put it in a different area and see how well it, how well it does in a area where there's not a lot of heat. And so the next thing I have is strawberries. Now, the strawberries, I think I may have had 2 of them off this little plant right here, and I had this since last year, you guys, so it stayed for a long period. I guess this is one of the plants that come back every year, and so I was only able to get 2 strawberries off it because the rest of them was dealing with that blossom rot. I think it was just dealing with the blossom rot as well, but because it wasn't really producing that well, it wasn't necessary for me to spray anything on here. Well, not spray. Wasn't necessary for me to feed it some bone meal, but I probably had already done it, not realizing that this was affected by it as well. This one here is a new lemon tree. After we lost the lemon tree out there, we ended up buying another lemon tree, and I didn't talk Roderick into doing this. I think he realized that I had mentioned to him that it was not going to survive. It's on my face. I mentioned to him that it was not going to survive out there and that it was best to plant it in a pot. And so since he realized that it's just not going to survive, we're just going to go ahead and keep both lemon plants in a pot. And so the next vegetable is another basil plant. Now, I really think this is a different basil. I don't think this is sweet basil. I lost the tag to this, but let me tell you, I don't know if I told you this, but the reason why there was a number of reasons that I bought more basil, and one was to be able to make a lot of pesto. The other one was to combat all of the we'll say pest pressure on the tomatoes, and really my jalapeno peppers as well, because earlier this year I saw one hornworm on my peppers. So you don't get hornworms just on tomatoes, you can get on other plants as well. And so I got that to kind of help with pest pressure with the tomatoes and the ouch, I keep being beat up by these doggone thorns off these lemon trees. But again, I bought them because I want to help with the pest pressure or what have you. And so the next thing I want to show you, and I'm just going to kind of jump on over here. Okay, you can see me. Okay, so the next tomato plant I want to show you is the big boy. Now, I don't know, I've never seen a big boy plant and how large the fruit produces on here. I don't know the size of it, but if it says big, I'm expecting some really large tomatoes, you guys. I don't know if it's going to be as large as the Goliath tomatoes, but I'm curious to see if it's going to be larger than those tomatoes. And so I have another basil. Now it's funny, the reason why I say I don't know, I think this is this is not a sweet, this is, in my right hand, is a sweet basil. I don't think this is a sweet basil. I think it's just a regular basil, but I don't know what the name of it is. And so you can tell the difference in the leaves. The leaves look completely different. And if you notice, I got them planted near my tomato plants as well. Alright, so that is it in this little area right here. I'm going to pan over to the other area. Okay, so the next set of vegetables I want to share with you are the okra, you guys. This is the Clemson. Now, this is a Clemson spineless okra as well. And as I showed you over here, the size of the plant that I seeded versus the size of these is totally different. And these are, I don't know if it's because of the brand, but this one is, yeah, this one is a green okra heirloom Clemson spineless. Now, I'm not sure if this is heirloom or down on the ground, or if it is a hybrid. I have to go back and check to see if that is the reason why there's a difference in the leaf size. And so, as you can see, it is growing, you guys. I will probably tomorrow harvest maybe one of them off, because did some more research on this as well. Was told that you don't want your okra, I think they say at least 4 to 5 inches long. That's when you really want to pick them. If they get larger than that, then it gets woody, or it gets really hard, and so they're really not any good to eat. And so I think this might be maybe 3 inches now, and so I'm gonna wait until they get a little larger, maybe 4, maybe possibly hitting it at 5 at the most, to harvest this. And so it took a minute for them to kind of start producing the fruit. Now the one at the bottom, I had, like I said, I had these first because I wanted to start getting some vegetables really quick, so I went and bought the plants. But it looks like these plants that are on the ground is going to catch up with this, and they're going to start producing. I probably in the next couple of weeks it's going to start flowering and then producing the fruit. And so I'm excited for this, because y'all know I want to do my pickling okra as well. And so all of this is the Clemson. Now the one in the back, like, I don't know if you can see it, it's producing a flower, but it's a different type of okra. And that one is this. It says it's a green, it just says okra green finger. Don't know if it's hybrid or if it's a heirloom. Maybe it'll say what it is on the ticket if it was either one of them. But it's from Bonnie. And I wanted to kind of see what type of different okra that would produce as well. And so now I'm going to pan over. I'm looking over here to see if you can see over here. But I'm going to bring you closer. Okay. Alright, so let me give you a little history, okay? This one that is growing, I think you can see it. This one that is growing, the bell pepper, I had this plant for 2.5 years. And so, as I mentioned to you before, I didn't do a good job in overwintering these plants. in the garage, and so I had to cut them back, and some of them I had to cut really back, and in order, you know, for them to start reproducing. The reason why I wanted to plant more, I didn't plant any more bell peppers, but I did plant more jalapeno peppers, and I'll explain in a few. This plant right here I just purchased. Well, not just purchased, but I purchased the plant, and it is a Big Bertha bell pepper. So we'll see if Big Bertha is going to live up to her name. We'll see. This next plant is an orange bell pepper plant. Now, like I said, I didn't have time to plant any more, and I got rid of a few of the plants that I had last year because they weren't going to come back, so I just got rid of them. And the next row, if you can see it, they've been producing, you guys, and I am going to start harvesting them, probably with you all being online, and I'm going to pan you back over, looking at the video rather. This one here that I'm shaking, this is old as well, and it is producing, it's got about 3-4 jalapeno peppers on here. Well, 5, but they're producing. One thing I've learned about jalapeno peppers, they produce, and the more you pluck them, the more they produce. That's old. This one back here, you don't see it. This one is old, and this is another jalapeno pepper. So I got 2 jalapeno peppers that I kept from last year that I was able to bring back to life. I got and I'll pan this around as well. I have another bell pepper, so I have 2 bell peppers that I was able to bring back as well, but one of them I had to cut down extremely low, you guys, and so the fruit is really hanging in the dirt, but I got something kind of to protect the fruit from the dirt. And so I am going to pan you around because I got something I want you to see that I told you that was so interesting, that these jalapeno peppers are huge. Okay, y'all, this is what I want y'all to see. I am just amazed by how large these jalapeno peppers are. But before I get into the ones that I bought, I'm going to start harvesting them like now. And so I want to show you the jalapeno peppers that I've had for a while. And the peppers are pretty large. They are pretty large. I don't think I ever had my bell peppers last year to grow as large as these. But I'm going to go ahead and pick this off. I should have got something to cut it instead of pulling it. But look at the size of this, you guys. Now this is off my old. I think this is kind of like a normal size jalapeno peppers. The ones last year, they were kind of small, wasn't as large as this, but I'm just amazed how large they are. Maybe it's because of how I've been feeding the plants, and so I'm really excited about that. And then I have another one. Now this was off this plant. I have another one over here that I might just go ahead and let that stay on a little longer to see if it's going to get longer. I'm gonna let that stay on a little longer. Now this is the Culapino. This is the Culapino jalapeno pepper, and it is a heartless jalapeno. I don't know what that means, y'all. Does it mean it doesn't have any seeds in it? I don't know, but we're gonna check. I will see when I get ready to cut on it. But these suckers are huge. They are huge. And so this one almost look, and I hope you can see it, but I am going to, I'm trying to decide on whether I should harvest this now. But if I do it now, it's going to grow other vegetables, so I'll probably go ahead and just harvest it. But they are just huge. Like this one here, I need to go and get my my scissors so that I can cut them off so you can see it close. Okay, y'all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just clip them all off because they ready. And they, like I said, they are huge. Put them in here. Okay, so let me bring this closer to you all so you can see. Now this one almost looked like a bell pepper, y'all. It looked like a bell pepper. It grew really funny. And then these are the peppers. This is really almost the same size as the one that I got off from the seed that I grew from seed. And so if you can, I just put it side by side, even though this one is much larger, but it's getting there, y'all. It's getting there. And so they look, we'll see how the cooler Pinot tastes. They say it's supposed to taste the same as a regular one, but just not hot. Okay, and so over here, if you can see it, these are, now I told you I had to cut this tree all the way down, y'all. I had to cut it all the way down. And so it is definitely bearing fruit on it. I'm not ready to pull, to harvest these bell peppers. I'm just going to wait and see how large they're going to grow. And then I'm going to give it probably another couple of weeks or so and see what happens. And so the next thing I want to show is I have another basil plant, and as I mentioned to you, I planted them all over the place to help do two things, and I already mentioned in the video what they are rather. And so the next one is, if you can see it here, these are my hot banana peppers. The first peppers that I bought. Now this is the sweet banana pepper. I like sweet banana peppers, but I like hot banana peppers. And so I'm waiting for these to grow and start producing fruit as well. And so I got about 5 of these plants here, and so hopefully maybe in the next 3 months or so, I don't know if they're going to produce, if it's going to take that long or what have you, but I'm waiting for them to start producing fruit as well. And this is another one of my jalapeno peppers. So I got about 3 jalapeno peppers that I was able to save. 3 jalapeno peppers I was able to save. And it is producing some fruit. It's got one on there so far. But we'll see how that's going to pan out or what have you. And that is it for this area here. And then I'm going to show you the flowers and show you the herbs, some more herbs or what have you. And I said that this was a vegetable, but actually it's considered a herb. Okay? And you can put this in your tea as well, as you can do a lot of things with basil, you guys. I tried to grow a purple basil and that didn't work, y'all. I don't know what I was doing to that plant, but it didn't work. It didn't survive. I maybe try again by seed, but not this year. And so I'm going to harvest those yellow pear tomatoes, and so you can see that too. Okay, so these are the yellow, and it looks like it was kind of splitting a little bit, so it was definitely time. Looked like it was kind of splitting a little bit, so it was definitely time to get these off. So these are the yellow ones, tomato plants or what have you. These are the yellow, not the tomato plants. These are the yellow pear tomatoes, and it was definitely time to get them off because one was trying to split. So I'm going to go ahead and take you back on the patio, because that's where I have a lot of my herbs located, and then I'll kind of pan around to the other areas of the garden, because I not only have it here, I have it over there as well. So I'm going to pan on over here too. Okay, you guys, I have more okra that's growing on the side of the patio, more okra growing, and then I have this this raspberry bush, and I told you it looks a hot mess. I got to figure out what to do with this bush right here because it don't look right, y'all. It don't look right. I may have eaten a couple of berries off this tree, and that's it. And that's because it just didn't look right. But anyhow, these are the okra. And then over here, I forgot to tell you all this too. I have, what is so crazy about this is that I have leftover cabbage from the fall garden, and it was not doing well at all when I planted these, and I did plant them the time that I was supposed to plant them. But now, and I was going to keep this just to kind of handle whatever pest pressure that I was going to face for the summer, the spring and the summer. But this doggone cabbage is really growing really good, and it's doing very well over here in this area. So I'm gonna let it stay here and let it do its thing, and hopefully it'll get large. And it has gotten harder on the inside too, which shows me that this plant is definitely growing like it should now. All right, y'all, so this is the herb section. Okay, I have some my rosemary on the other side, and I have the mojito mint on the other side as well. So I'll just kind of pan around and let you all see that as well. But this is the chamomile. The chamomile is growing really well, you guys. I got all of these plants here that you see, just these 4 plants here. I got these from Pike Nursery. Pike Nursery is really nice place that just has gorgeous plants. Some plants that you really don't see in your other big box stores like Home Depot and Lowe's. The only difference is it can be a little bit pricey, but I wanted to branch out because in Lowe's and Home Depot, and I'm going to say this, they're not spraying or watering their plants, and their plants are really dying, at least the ones that I've been going to. And so this is the chamomile, and it's from it says it's Blue Ridge grown, and it's a Roman chamomile. The next one is dill. A lot of these plants I gotta water once I once I finish the video. I gotta water all of these plants because some of them I didn't water them yesterday, and but I need to water them today, to make a long story short. But this is the dill, and it's telling me I need some water. This is the dill, and it's a fern leaf dill. And then you see another one of my basil plants, and as I said, I got basil all over the place, and I guarantee you. All right, y'all, the camera stopped recording because the card was full, so I had to clean some stuff off. And so let me get back to this. And so the next herb you see is my pineapple sage, and I am excited to start harvesting off of this, but I wanted to get a little bit larger before I do any type of harvesting off of this because I wanted to, you know, have a lot more. I wanted to produce a lot more leaves or what have you. This next one is the golden variegated sage, and I'm going to wait until it get a little taller before I start harvesting off of this as well. Now, I think I'm going to use this. I probably will try it out in my tea, but I know definitely for this one because it smells so good, you guys. And I want to give it a try and see how everything, see how well it tastes in my tea. And so I got one more thing that I want to show you, and that is what I have that is growing in my little growing containers, you guys. And then the mojito mint along with the basil. I have a basil that I've had for 2 years. I don't know what's going on with that, but I think you can still, I can still use it. And then the other one, I purchased that maybe about a couple of months ago. Okay, so let me pan you around. Okay, so right now I am growing kohlrabi over here, and it is the early wild Vienna. Oh, I don't have my glasses on, y'all, but that's actually early white Vienna. Okay, that's crazy. And so this is a kohlrabi, and so it is growing. I got it set up to grow a row here and then some here. And then these are my bush beans. These are my, they're the tender green, rather. They're the tender green beans. And these are the ones I told you sprout up so quickly. And the leaf, I need to go ahead and put them in a larger pot now. And so that's sprouting up really good. And all of them sprouted except one, but I'm not even going to be concerned with that. I'm just going to go with the 3 that's already here. And then over here, oh no, okay, it'll grow. I broke the thing up, but it'll grow. Here is this row along with that there as well. They are my jalapeno peppers, and so we'll see what happens with that. I'm hoping that they will start, you know, to germinate so that I can grow more jalapeno pepper, hot jalapeno peppers. Okay, and the last thing I want to show, because I want to show you everything, you guys. Oh, I haven't showed you guys my flowers. You got to see my flowers. But before I show you the flowers, I want to show you the mint. And I don't know if you can see it, but these are, let me step out of the way. Now that's the mojito plant. And then this is the, now this is the, not basil, this is a rosemary that I've had for a while. And at one point it was looking crazy, but it looked a whole lot better now, you guys. I think because I pulled it out of the sun. And then of course I have one over on the other end as well. And so now I want to show you the plants. The plants, y'all. Okay, so first I want to show you all the sunflower plants. Now these were planted from seed. I'm so proud of them. They're planted from seed, and these are I thought I had a tag in here, but I don't. But these were the they're supposed to be the real large, the huge sunflower that you've seen before. But these are going to grow really, really large, you guys. And I think I want to try, I don't know how well it's going to do if I try to transplant it in some of them in a different pot, because they get so huge and get so tall, you guys. And so I don't know how long it's going to take for it to get that way, but we're going to give it 3 months. This, you guys, is the zinnia. Now, I should have learned this from last year. Zinnias produce constantly. They'll die back and they'll grow back the next year. And so I planted these, and these are the Zinnia Giant Double Lavender zinnias or what have you. And so I'm really excited to see the blooming on this. Now you can see where this is, right? This little thing here on here. I'm going to have to take it out of this pot here and probably put it down to the bottom, because it's going to get taller and taller and taller, and it ain't going to be able to fit in this pot like it should. And so I'll be removing that, and so hopefully in the next month or so we'll start seeing some flowers on these. The next one, you don't see it, but you will see it. This is the hollyhock dwarf MC flower. Now this gets pretty tall. Now I don't know, it says dwarf, so I don't know if it's gonna get tall or not. We'll just see. But if it does, it still will have room to grow in this little decorative planter or stand or what have you. And so but I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. I planted several of them before and only one came up, and so we'll see what happens. And I'm gonna pan around and show you my nasturtiums. Okay, you guys, these are the nasturtiums, and they are growing. I planted a few of these as well. Now this is just growing so wild, you guys. I may have to. These are easy to. These little. I don't know if you can see it. I guess you can. And you can see the nasturtiums too. This little runner, I can't think of the name of it, but this comes back every year. And so what I'm going to do is probably uproot some of this because it's kind of growing this way into the nasturtiums, and I want the nasturtiums to have a lot of room. And so they're growing pretty good. I'm excited about these as well. And the next one, see if you can see that. Now this is the Black Eye Susan here. And I'm going to read up on it. Like I said, when I saw it, I thought it was really pretty. And it also added a little color over here as well. But I'm going to read up on it and see if it has any medicinal use as well. And so this is it for the summer garden. The next thing you will see is me planting the ones that are in the little grow containers, and then the ones that I am propagating in the house, which is really ready for me to plant as well. I will be planting that as well, and so I'll bring you back on in the next video, me planting those, and then we'll have a little conversation as well. But if you've gotten this far with the video and you didn't skip through anything, I really appreciate you taking your time out to look at the video, you guys. And I'm going to make sure that it doesn't take me that long to bring out the next one. And it's not going to take that long. But I want to share with you in another video, a separate video, all that's going to take place. So when you start seeing some strange things that's happening on this channel, not really bad strange things, it's just good strange things. That's because I'm just changing and wanting to bring more content to the channel, because I want to draw other viewers as well to the channel. All right, I'm not going to keep babbling. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video.